I'm Daisy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top tips for planning and executing the perfect romantic dinner at home. Valentine's Day is coming soon, so I thought it's the best time for me to upload this video. But don't forget that you can use those tips all year round because romantic dinners should not happen only once a year. If you're interested to know what my tips are, keep on watching. The first tip I have for you is to be confident. Don't go into this thinking that you're going to fail or your meal is not going to taste delicious. Keep repeating to yourself that this is going to be the best romantic dinner yet for you and your partner, and you'll see how much of a difference it makes. Don't forget to have faith in your own capabilities. The next tip is to plan ahead of time. In my opinion, 3 to 4 days is completely okay, but if you tend to make decisions harder, you might want to start even a little bit earlier. Tip number 3 is to get inspired. Go on Pinterest or Google and try to find different images that really spark your creativity, because you need to be in that creative state of mind while you're planning for this dinner. Tip number 4 is to never test out a new recipe on the day of the event. It applies for all occasions, all home entertainment. Either make a recipe that you're confident in, that you know very, very well, or if you really want to try something new, practice it before the actual date, at least once or twice. When you have an idea of roughly what you're going to cook, look at this list and make sure that your menu is balanced. If you want to make a heavy main dish, go light on the appetizers and vice versa. You don't want you and your partner to be completely full before you even tested the dessert. It is always good to do a little bit of research before you finalize your menu. Take a look at every single meal that you have. Does everything go well together? What is the best beverage that you can offer with this dinner? Food is art. I want you to remember this. And you want to create a smooth transition from your entree to your main course all the way to the dessert. And you also want to choose a drink that best complements this meal. Tip number 7 is to be creative with the decor. Romance is not red, romance is not flowers, romance is everywhere. If you and your partner are not fans of hearts or roses, you can simply choose a different theme. It's very, very easy. Just research online and find something that both of you would enjoy. You can, for example, take your favorite destination together and create the whole experience around it. The decor, the food, everything. You can also use, let's say, fairy lights and stars to create a starry night experience, like you're dining outside. Or you can have a very cozy night by the fire. It all depends on your own preference, and don't limit yourself with what everyone else is doing. Just be creative and be yourself. While you're in the process of planning, make sure that you think about the activities as well. What are you going to do that night? If both of you enjoy cooking, you can actually pick a recipe that both of you enjoy, and instead of you making everything on your own, you can buy the products and then cook with your partner on the night. Another thing that you can do is get a movie and watch that, or you can buy some of those paper lanterns that you release into the night together and make a wish. Pick something that both of you love doing, or you can even try out something new, something that you've never done before, and make this evening memorable. Tip number 9 is to create a playlist. You can use YouTube or Spotify to create a playlist full with your favorite songs that both of you can enjoy together. Play it in the background, just make sure that it's not too loud so you can actually hear each other talk. Tip number 10 is to set the mood. You can use different decor items from around your house to complete the theme that you have chosen and create a perfect cohesive look. You can also use candles, which are my personal favorite. I like to use candle jars, but if you prefer stick candles, a great tip is to put them in the freezer a couple of days before using them, so when they're burning, they're not dripping down. You can also create a beautiful centerpiece that goes well with the theme you have chosen. Just make sure that it's low enough so if you and your partner are sitting opposite at each other, you can actually see them and there's not flowers or arrangements in your way. Tip number 11 is to remember to iron. This is a small detail that makes a big difference, and a lot of people either forget about it or do it only when there are guests coming over. Just because it's you and your partner alone does not mean that you should not put the extra effort. You want to iron the tablecloth, iron the napkins, and make sure that this is a beautiful atmosphere for you and your partner to enjoy, because you both deserve this and you need to feel special because you are. Make sure that you bring out your china. You don't want to put paper plates for a romantic dinner with your partner. Get into the habit of using your china all the time, especially for important occasions like this one. Tip number 13 is to make sure that you lay your table out properly. This is another small detail that makes a huge difference, and you need to pay attention to this. You want to know which thing goes where, because this elevates again the whole experience, and it shows that you have attention to detail. Let's see how it goes. Forks go on the left, and knives and spoons go on the right. You have your dessert spoon or fork at the top, and you have your glasses at the right hand side. You also want to make sure that you lay the different cutleries from the outside in. So the salad fork is at the very outside, and then your main dish fork is on the inside, and so on and so forth. So this is how it goes. You can actually look for more reference and tips online, but please make sure that you research this and lay your table out properly, because it does make a huge difference. Make sure that you also clean on the day of the dinner, because you want to have a beautiful experience in a clean kitchen and in a clean home. Clean the floors, clean the counters, wash the tablecloth, and make sure that you empty the dishwasher, which will help you at the end of the evening. Tip number 15 is to make sure that you always serve your food at a proper temperature. You don't want to start too early because your food is going to be cold, or too late because you may not be ready when your partner comes home. So the best thing to do in this case is to actually calculate how long it would take you to create each dish, and then you would be able to know at which time it's the best for you to start cooking. Now, I know that not everyone is a fan of cooking, and if you're one of those people and you've made it this far into this video, let me tell you that there's nothing wrong with serving takeaway on this dinner date. The only thing you want to make sure of is that you dress up your food. And what I mean by this is that you want to take it out of the packaging that it came in and plate it and garnish it and make it presentable. This will again elevate the whole experience of the evening. Now, tip number 17 is something a little bit more personal and specific that maybe not all of you would like to follow, but I personally think it's a great idea, especially for date night, and it is to have a no phones allowed policy. This means that both you and your partner should turn off your phones or put them in the other room in case of an emergency, so you'll still be able to hear them. This is great because in case of special dinners like this, it's just the two of you and you want all of your attention to be on your partner and not on Instagram and your phone. Tip number 18 is don't be afraid to change the scenery. Why don't you eat your dessert in the living room or sip your champagne next to the fire? Just because your evening started in the kitchen does not mean that it should end in the kitchen. Now, I know that you probably don't want to hear this, but you need to clean up before you go to bed. You don't want to wake up and have piles of dishes on top of the table. It's never a good way to start the day. Tip number 20 is to prepare a little gift for your partner. It could be something as small as a piece of chocolate, but it's still a great thing to do. It shows them that you appreciate them and that you love them. The gesture is more important than what the gift actually is. Hopefully you enjoyed my tips on how to create the perfect romantic dinner. Let me know in the comments down below how you're going to spend Valentine's Day. Like this video and share it with your friends, and don't forget to come back next week for my next video.